I'm passionate about my 4 F-bombs. That's my family, my fitness, my finances, and my faith. The faith is not only believing in a higher power, but it's believing in me. I mean, I put a lot of time into believing in myself, but you know, what am I most passionate about? My girls, man. My wife, my daughter, I have a son, and I'm passionate about giving back. You know, I feel that someone put me through what I had to go through for a reason. It's to help others. You know, the more you make, mostly a lot of people think it's the more you take, but the more you make and the more you've endured, the more you give back to the community. So I am passionate about just helping other people, especially men. I work with young men. I work with, you know, youth between the ages of 11 and 16, and I work with men. And my goal is to create and teach them the ways of being the savage servant, right? And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're sitting in a park, right, on a bench. I tell this scenario all the time. And your wife is in the grass about 20 feet in front of you. Maybe she's playing with the kids. And you see me walking over the hill in an aggressive fashion, right? And I'm coming right at them. I mean, I am locked on them, but you're locked on me. What and where are you gonna place yourself in that scenario? Where? Where are you gonna put yourself? You're gonna put yourself in front of your wife and kids. But it's not because you're a savage, it's because you're a servant. Because I don't know how you did it, brother, but when I got married, I took a knee. You asked her, she chose you. So there's responsibilities and duties that you have to acquire. So what I do is I teach men how to sharpen the blades of being the savage and the servant, and that's physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial. And the spiritual does not have to be a higher power. It's the spirituality of believing in yourself and why you're put on this earth. That's what I do. And I do it better than most because most people just chase the money. That's the last thing you go after. When you dial all your shit in, the money will come. But I mean, you've got to be dialed in. Transitioning from the military to the civilian world, it's tough. I mean, it's scary as shit because you don't know what to expect and you've been almost like brainwashed. You know, I was almost brainwashed for 12 years. I'm working with the elite, you know, the mecca of people that, you know, any spec ops group is just the mecca. And then you're going to go back to the civilian world where people just go through the motions. They punch their time cards. But for me, it was scary as shit. And I'll tell you why. Because overseas in battle, you know who the enemy is. In the civilian world, everybody pretends they're your friends, but they're really not. You know, so there was that adjustment period, plus, you know, trying to find, you know, when you're in the SEAL teams, it's a very tight niche group. And then when you go out into the civilian world, you're like released and you're by yourself. You know, luckily for me, I had a great woman who I ended up marrying. It was tough. And a lot of individuals, not just spec ops, but anybody in the military, there is that transitional period where it's really tough to convert from military to civilian life. I feel that Core Medical Group and the Ray Cash Care brand, you know, they really align because obviously, let's start from the top, you know. The CEO, Sydney's very passionate. I think you guys have a great team and your focus is on helping people, right? Well, mine is the same way. I have the same principles. I want to help people. The reason why I aligned with Core Medical Group is, you know, I'm helping all these men and families get better, right? But then we infuse the products and the technology that you have for a healthier, happier life. So it only makes sense. You know, I want to make people bigger, better, faster, and stronger. Sydney and his team is doing the same thing. And my thing is if you can lead a life of happiness and of health and wealth and you can live longer, it's a no-brainer why I joined your team. I call it a family-owned business because, you know, from the minute you walk into the clinic, and this is what sold me, everybody actually cares about what they're doing. You know, everybody has a strategic role and everybody like is a subject matter expert, but everybody cares about you. You know, I've done other TRT buildings and doctors before. And when I went there, I felt like a number. I felt like a sheep just in a line to get my, you know, my shot like when I would join the military. But when I came to Core, people actually took the time to talk to me, to ask me real questions. And it wasn't just about the health and the wealth. You know, as you get older, it was about my libido, it was about my sex life, which is some tough questions to have with a female doc. But I just love the sincerity. I love the honesty. And the reason why I chose them over other companies is there were things that I thought my body needed And Lily, I was told from Mike, you don't need that, right? You don't need that. That's no. And it wasn't the fact that they were trying to save me money. He was just like, I only want you to use what your body needs. And their focus, as in Core's focus, is let's get your levels right. Like, I love that. I live for my levels, right? I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want to be able to have, a passionate relationship with my wife for as long as I can. And, and I'm all about following protocol, and they make it so simple. This is what someone told me when I came home. What would you do for free, even though you want to get paid for it? And that's what I did. I love instructing, I love teaching, I love coaching, and I love, smashing people, with my corporate retreats and things that I do like that, but in a positive way. And, through a lot of trial and error, a lot of trial and error, it's like anything else, you just have to sharpen the stone. Nobody gets it right the first time, nobody. So it's taken me, it took me about 12 years to get my shit dialed in. And now that I'm doing it, I'm thankful for the military and what it gave me, but that's behind me. It made me who I am at that moment, but I strive and seek so much more. I don't look at what I've accomplished. I look at what I've overcome, right? Most people, their mindset is, look at me, look what I've done. What I say is, look at me, look what I've accomplished to get here. My mindset is gritty and it's raw and it's real. So what does Core Medical Group offer? They offer longevity, right? They offer and provide a service that can have you live healthier and happier, right? Versus Big Pharma. What do they want to do? They want to keep you medicated and uneducated. At Core Medical Group, they want to educate you to the point where you know more than most so that you can live longer. So again, I'm all about that. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be with doctors. I don't want to be sitting around medicated. I want to have as little in my body as I can to live as long as I can.